In Cook Islands Māori, we call sharks Mangō, and they feature in our culture, tattoo and legends. They are thought of as our ocean guardians and are central to our ocean and coral reef ecosystems.
I've been surfing in Rarotonga since I was 12 years old, and the shark is the first thing on your mind as soon as you go over that reef. So I was forced into that understanding of the shark. And I think a lot of people are missing out on that interaction, not only with the shark, but just to start off with the ocean. Going out beyond the reef and putting yourself in that environment only makes you a little bit more aware of how these animals work, and it's not all grim and grisly and terrifying like how sharks are portrayed in the media. They're actually a very placid, beautiful animal, and they don't want to take a bite out of you.
I think there's a misconception everywhere, thanks to Jaws, that sharks are these menacing man-eaters, and they aren't. So what I can tell you, what a lot of the divers can tell you, is that often when you see sharks, they actually swim away from you. So it's actually really, really cool to be able to see a shark in the water. Now, if you're wearing a bloody fish, they're going to come check you out. But the negative interactions that people have with the sharks in the Cook Islands is very, very, very limited. So in fact, seeing a shark, that we have these sharks here, is actually really quite special. We should be proud of it. We're still learning about the numbers of sharks and rays that we have in our water. And I say sharks and rays because they're cousins, they're related. But we actually have critically endangered oceanic whitetips here, which is still a big deal because there aren't that many of them left on the planet. We also have endangered Mangō sharks, whale sharks, hammerhead sharks. We've got reef sharks, we've got rays. We have a number of endangered and threatened species which may actually be benefiting from the Cook Island Shark Sanctuary, and we're actually really lucky to see them still.
Sharks are vulnerable to human impacts and environmental change. This vulnerability is made worse because they are slow-growing and have low rates of reproduction.
There are a number of threats to sharks and rays, including pollution, habitat destruction, and climate change. But the primary driver of mortality for these species is fisheries, which has resulted in 30% of all sharks and rays threatened with extinction. And while some people might think this is a good thing, it's actually a problem because sharks have a really important role in the ecosystem, including keeping fish stocks healthy, driving schooling behavior, and also being fun to see in the water.
Commercial and recreational fishing activities are a major concern for the conservation of sharks. Fishermen regularly interact with sharks where they can be caught as bycatch and can get tangled up in fishing nets and lines.
For a fisherman, it's a race. They're out there first. We're out there second. But we forget that we're competing against these animals. So when we do encounter them, when we're on a big yellowfin or on a big marlin and they come through and tax us, we shouldn't feel bad that has happened.
When a shark is caught, fishers should try to safely release them quickly and unharmed. If it is not possible to remove the hook or lure, the line should be cut to let the animal go free.
My intention is not to harm that shark. I am purely just trying to get to it as fast as possible so I can carry on through my day, but I'm also looking out for the best interests of the shark.
In an effort to reduce the pressure and impacts of commercial fishing on our sharks, our moana has been declared a shark sanctuary.
The Shark Sanctuary was put in place to keep sharks in our waters. Sharks are important for the ecosystem. They're apex predators, they're mesopredators. They drive ocean health and healthy fish stocks. And we need to do something to reduce the commercial fishing pressure on these species. So in 2012, the government of the Cook Islands enacted legislation to protect sharks from commercial fisheries. What does that mean? It means the import, export, sale, trade, possession, and transshipment of all shark and ray parts is illegal in these waters.
Sharks are sensitive animals and require our respect. They are vitally important to healthy marine ecosystems and an integral part of our culture.